everyone can have a seat. So folks, we're going to begin our ceremony with some Hawaiian flavor by blowing the conch shell. And in our islands, before any sacred event, we sound the shell to drive away any ill spirits and to usher in everything divine. We're going to blow it 3 times. The first 2 tones are short, but the third is going to be a long one. Because in Hawaii, that long one symbolizes long life and long relationships. In fact, the Hawaiians would say, if we can blow an inhumanly long note on the third one, that the relationship's going to last way beyond this lifetime. So, but it's got to be inhumanly long. Now, here's the way we're going to pull it off. By the way, it's going to be a long breath. Has everyone heard the word aloha? Let me hear that word. Aloha. You can do better than that. Aloha. A little more. Aloha. Ha means breath in the Hawaiian culture. So what I want you to do is Hawaiian word kokua. That means help out. Everybody send me some air on the third one. Because this is a big shell, which takes a lot of air to blow. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a skinny old guy. So send me some air on the third one. We'll see if we're going beyond human. You ready? That's where I need my help. You did it. Thank you. No, I'm not out of breath. These guys. You know, it's kind of my meditation, actually, when I blow the shell. I'm kind of thinking of myself as being like a shell. I mean, this shell can hang out here for millions of years and not make a tone. But if we know how to blow it and put it to our lips, it makes a beautiful sound. I kind of feel like the shell. I mean, the reality is, I'm here to perform the ceremony. But if we look amongst us, I'm probably the least qualified. I barely know these guys, isn't it? I just met Katrina like, 2 minutes ago? And to make sure I don't even forget their names, they're written down in my hand. Just kidding. But the truth is, you have all come with all of the blessings and all of the love. And like the shell, I just want to be your instrument. So don't think of yourselves as witnesses or spectators. All of you, everyone here, are groomsmen, our bridesmaids, and all the family, friends, and well-wishers. Just send all that love, and together we're going to perform this ceremony. So everyone, we are all assembled together this beautiful afternoon here in the Hawaiian Islands on the 24th day of June, the year 2019. Most beautiful place on earth. I mean, I don't care where you go on the planet, it's hard to find anything nicer than Hawaii. This is actually as hot as it gets. Doesn't get hot here, and nor does it even get really cold. You know how much it varies summer to winter? 8 degrees. So we don't have heat or air conditioning. We have a sweater if it gets cold and little overhead fans if it gets a day like today. And here in this beautiful tropical garden, we're now going to perform a sacred ceremony of matrimony wherein the hearts and souls of James and Katrina will intertwine as one by the divine link or union of love and holy matrimony. And what I understand, they've been sharing together for the last 8 years, love. It's what makes life worth living, isn't it? I mean, we, in the core of our hearts, are all about love. It's the essence of our being. What's the first thing we did, folks, when we came in the world? we're looking around, where's mommy? Where's mommy's heart? And one taste of mommy's love at that moment, we kind of knew that this is what life is all about. I'm an old beekeeper. And sometimes I would think when the worker bee goes out on her first maiden flight, you know, she's kind of operating on instinct, and she instinctively lands on a flower, puts down that little straw, it's called a proboscis. When it tastes nectar, it's got to know at that moment, I got it now. I'm a bee, these are flowers, this honey tastes great, and its whole life is going from flower to gather honey. And once we've tasted that love of mommy, whoa, like the bee, we're going, daddy. If we're fortunate, daddy's standing by, the same sweetness from mommy, but a very different flavor. All flowers have different flavors to the bee. So we find mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends. Sometimes. Anyone here ever experienced love crossing the boundaries of species? And I'm talking family dog, family kitty. Anybody here? Isn't it? It's love. So I would say a young child smothered in healthy family love is going to be completely satisfied. But there's a juncture we all reach where we start to notice, I think there's something more than the flowers we've experienced in these gardens. I think there's a very, very special flower out there. And that's when a young man, help me out, James. This is not rehearsed. Somewhere between when we were boys and we were men, did you get this weird thought in your mind, like, where is the love of my life to protect, provide for, cherish?
For sure.
Man, I didn't tell anybody. I thought that was the weirdest thought, right? Everybody, all my friends are busy playing baseball and fishing, and right? But here's this weird thought. Come to find later, they're all thinking it. Now, Katrina, honey, I'm thinking somewhere long before womanhood enriches the life of a young maiden, they're way ahead of us. They're already thinking, where the heck is Prince Charming? And when these guys going to grow up, get it together? Isn't it saddle up those white horses and go to that white horse and head out here and take me away? Isn't it? Yeah. Women are way ahead of us guys. I mean, that's a fact.
It's true.
Anyway, so, but the idea is if we are one day fortunate to find that amorous love in life, then really, what more does the world have to offer us? Anything we can give you to have you go your separate ways? No. Come on, get real. No gambling in Hawaii. But we saw on the mainland where you guys come from, a lottery. Last year, Powerball, that's it. Lines were miles long. Indigent people spending their last dollar knowing there's almost zero chance. But like this, people are thinking, man, if I could somehow win. Anybody know how high that got? It was a big one. 1.6 billion. I don't know how many zeros that is. I know, yeah, a lot. And I don't know what you do with $1.6 billion, how you could even possibly spend it. But anyway, if we could give you that ticket today, winning lottery ticket, to go your separate ways, you going for it?
No.
Get real, guys, come on. How about we go tax-free?
No.
One for each.
No.
Folks, you know why they're not going for it? They're in love. They're tasting the real deal. That's like the ultimate acid test. You get a couple up here and they're saying, yeah, we'll take it, right? It wasn't love, it was something else that brought them to the altar of marriage. And very often we see that. And I got to tell you, this is really healthy. They've been together 8 years. So we know they've weathered through some ups and downs. Yeah? When I was you're from Washington State, right? When I was there, I went on a ride on, I was in Seattle. What's that thing that goes in the water and out of the water? It's got a funny, duck. The duck. By the way, that was the coolest thing. It was $25. And my sisters were there. And they thought the duck was so silly. I said, look, I'll pay for it. We had the best time on that duck. And it was so corny. The jokes were so bad that we had fun. But anyway, so they took us out and we saw these vessels from like Greatest Catch, and you know those the ones that go out you see on, is this Greatest Catch? So anyway, I'm just thinking that you've weathered some storms, but they had a movie several years back called what was the name of it? Something about when all went wrong out at sea. The Perfect Storm. Yeah? Okay, so that's kind of what this wedding is about. All right, you've like been out to sea, you've weathered out some tough times, but we want to know, what is that perfect storm? Because the reality is, the vast majority of lovers do find they hit the perfect storm and they separate. Yeah? I mean, unless it's different in Seattle, I don't know, but.
Nope.
Okay. So let's talk today, since you're from Seattle, about what the perfect storm is, at least as I sort of understand it. You guys weren't going for the lottery ticket because of love. And any couple in love, they won't take it. Love makes them completely inseparable. But we see in so many cases, at some point, couples will separate. And on the altar of marriage, they wouldn't have taken the ticket. You know what it tells us? It means the perfect storm hit, they weren't feeling love, and they separated. The purpose of this marriage today is to take something in your hearts that's as important, if not more important, than your love. And that is a commitment. The ultimate commitment that no matter how bad of a storm we may hit, even we wake up one morning and saying, or thinking, I've had it with you, I'm out of here. It's the ultimate test. And that's why every culture in the world comes together at the time of marriage and makes this promise. But most people don't really get it, how important this promise is. It's got to be greater than love. If I'm thinking about what I just said, it was all kind of negative. I'm telling a couple been together for 8 years, probably hasn't had any real serious problems. They may hit a storm where they may feel like walking away. But there's a silver lining. Since we're going nautical here, I can tell you one of the things we say in the Coast Guard is that smooth seas do not make seasoned sailors. Folks, fair weather lovers are a dime a dozen. We see them all, they look like Mr. and Mrs. Perfect, right? First major storm, not feeling love, crash, they fall down. But those that weather the storms, they're the ones that taste the most elevated levels of love. Folks, love is the one thing in life that can get better and better and sweeter and more delicious. Can we say that about anything else in life other than love? Again, our first breath, where's love? And the older and the wiser we become, the more we realize all that ever mattered is love. So if you're willing to make that ultimate promise today, that even, because now we're going to think about it. By the way, where are the rings? Can I see the rings for a moment?
Brian has them. From his best man.
Okay. Let's peek.
Oh. You can get it open.
And I'm like an old sailor and I can't get this thing undone. All right, here they are. Okay, so you're going to be wearing beautiful rings, and it's about time after 8 years, people are going to say they finally did it. So the advertisement's out.
Yeah.
By the way, you know she's a really good-looking gal, right?
Oh, I do. Good, yeah.
And you ever notice guys are always clocking her out?
Yep.
Well, the good news is from this day forward, she'll be wearing a stop sign. Folks, did anybody here ever not stop for a stop sign? Anyway, stop signs help, but they ain't perfect. This is going to help. They're going to know she's married.
Yep.
As soon as I met James, by the way, I liked him. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome. He's charismatic. He's likable. He's a good-looking guy. And women are attracted to him, aren't they? But what's he going to be wearing? He'll be wearing a
Ring.
which is a,
Symbol of commitment.
it's a stop sign. Okay, so that's one of the things you want to know about the ring. But there's a much higher purpose. How many people are old enough, or if you've heard this saying, if you want to remember something, tie a string around your finger? Old timers know that. Like if you're going to go to the store, you're not going to forget to pick up a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk. You might forget the olives that the wife told you to get, right? So you tie a string. That's to remind you, the olives. Well, these rings, what are the last 4 letters of ring? String. Oh, string, yeah, string, ring. Okay. The last 4 letters of string are ring. So these rings, every time you see them, I want them to remind yourselves of the promise we made today, that under no circumstances will we ever separate. And if we are constantly, like a mantra, it's going from our mind, it's going to go into our hearts. And if we've got that in our hearts, nothing can come between you. The outside cannot destroy the marriage. It's got to come from within. But if you're committed, even if it seems dead, look, if I were to come to Washington State in the dead of winter, God forbid, but if I were to come visit you guys in the winter, I'd probably say, hey, Katrina, James, what happened? I notice all your trees are dead. Let's cut them down for firewood or lumber. But you'd say, no, Captain Howie, they're alive. Just wait till April, May, yeah? They'll come back bigger, broader, more flowers, more leaves than ever before. Just right out the dormant period. Same is true in love. So if that's your purpose today, we can assure you both nothing will ever come between you and you'll always remain happily married ever after. So honey, let's hand your bouquet to one of the ladies. We'd like you both to face each other and join hands. And as you make your sacred vows, you want to open your hearts wide open and speak from your heart's innermost chambers as you repeat, beginning with James. I, James.
I, James.
Take you, Katrina.
Take you, Katrina.
As my wedded wife.
As my wedded wife.
I promise to always love you.
I promise to always love you.
To remain faithful to you.
To remain faithful to you.
And I promise to embrace.
And I promise to embrace.
Every opportunity.
Every opportunity.
That life presents.
That life presents.
To strengthen.
To strengthen.
And expand.
And expand.
My love.
My love.
And we have the bride's ring. We'll hand that to James. And James, as you put Katrina's ring upon her finger, we'd like you to say this wedding ring.
This wedding ring.
Symbolizes.
Symbolizes.
My unconditional commitment.
My unconditional commitment.
To you.
To you.
And again, joining hands. I, Katrina.
I, Katrina.
Take you, James.
Take you, James.
As my wedded husband.
As my wedded husband.
I promise to always love you.
I promise to always love you.
To remain faithful to you.
To remain faithful to you.
And I promise to embrace.
And I promise to embrace.
Every opportunity.
Every opportunity.
That life presents.
That life presents.
To strengthen.
To strengthen.
And expand.
And expand.
My love.
My love.
And honey, would you also say this wedding ring?
This wedding ring.
Symbolizes.
Symbolizes.
My unconditional commitment.
My unconditional commitment.
To you. Good. In the old days, the days of yore, Hawaiians would always give gifts. Bride and groom would give gifts to each other. But back in those days, there was no Kmart or Target. So the gentleman would go to the seashore, collect little shells, string them together with coconut fibers to give to their bride. You're going to give this to Katrina, and she gets a little kiss with it.
A little kiss on the cheek?
Yeah. And the ladies would go to the forest and collect kukui nuts. This is a state tree. The Hawaiians used to burn these for fire at night. These leis can be kept way beyond this marriage. And then we have some sand from Angels Bay Beach, which we're going to pour together. Pour that right on in. Joining of your hearts. Okay, I'll take those. So everyone, at this time, it is our great pleasure and honor with the blessings of all of you, the family, the friends, and well-wishers, and everything divine. Together, remember we did this together now, right? Together, we pronounce James and Katrina as husband and wife. James, you may kiss your beautiful bride. Aloha!
James, you are my everything, my best friend, my one and only. You have filled my life with absolute joy. You are my rock and always seem to know the right thing to say to help keep me grounded. You are goofy, handsome, supportive, selfless, just to name a few. I always say how incredibly lucky I am to have met such an amazing person at such a young age. I believe the universe put you in front of me because we were meant to spend our lives together, even before we didn't quite know that. Today, with absolute certainty, I choose you to be my husband. I take you to be my partner for life. I give you my hand and my heart. I pledge my love to you, my devotion, faith, and honor to you. I promise to laugh with you, cry with you, and grow with you. I promise to respect and honor and cherish you as an individual, a partner, and an equal. I will love you when we are together and when we are apart. I promise to support your dreams and respect our differences and to love you and always be by your side forever and always. And of course, I promise to not put veggie in the sink. I can't imagine where I would be without you and cannot wait to continue our journey with you as my side, forever as your wife, all the days of our life. I love you.
Love you too. Okay. So do we have to continue or?
Then, because I can cut
I
it.
know. Okay. Right over here. It's in there. Okay. You ready? How do I follow that, by the way? Okay, so Katrina, when I first saw you at Brian White's party, I thought, oh, what a beautiful girl, right? Maybe I can talk to her and get to know her. She seems fun. So days later, I thought I should make the first move and message you on Facebook because that's all I knew how to do is put it on Facebook. Then times goes by and we went to prom together, / others. We started dating right before high school graduation, like 7 days. Then the summer rolled around and we kept dating, and then college rolled around and I left, and that was hard. I didn't know how it was going to go. It could have gone any different way. I messed this up.
It's okay.
So I just went to school and thought maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But soon after that, did I realize that when I left, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Every day. I texted you and called you all the time. And it was wonderful. Every morning, hey beautiful, good morning beautiful. Then you decided to come to MSU with me, and it was even more amazing. Ever since, I've had no regrets. You are and have always been the best part of me. You had opened up my heart in ways I didn't know ever existed. You truly stole my heart. You. I would never change a thing because I've loved every minute of it. You and this relationship have helped me become who I am today. I am sure the future will not be a piece of cake. We've had our ups and downs, but I am confident through what we have learned and been through, we can get through anything as long as it's together. This is so weird. I'm sure I will need to help you, or need your help many times through life, and to keep me on the right path. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us, because I know the options are endless. You are a beautiful, selfless, passionate, loyal, loving, and honest person. And these features and more make me love you more and more every day. I love you with all my heart, and I promise to be the rock whenever you need me to be by your side through the tough times and the good. Through thick and thin, I promise to be faithful, loving, honest, genuine, and compassionate toward you and our future family. It is not every day that I get to say and be so lucky to find someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. But I know what I want, and I want you to be my wife forever. You are always and forever will be my number one priority. I love you so much and can't wait to see what the future holds. I love you.